Okay. Meeting. Okay, hello everyone. We are starting our webinar today. So, as we promised, as we advertised, today we are going to speak about education in Czech Republic, and we are going to speak English today. And as I promised to everybody in our social network, that we are going to place the Russian version of the webinar, but a little bit later. So it will be with subtitles. So. Keep updated in our social media groups. I will show you exactly when and where you could have the presentation, but today we are going to speak English, and I suppose everybody will understand us. So what we are going and who we are going to talk with today. So today we are going to talk about studying in English with the representatives of the Czech Technical University in Prague. I suppose they will introduce themselves a little bit later in more detail. But what exactly we are going to talk about? One second. So we are going to speak of about why should you go and study in Czech Republic. So everybody knows that it is very popular nowadays. But we are going to speak about studies in English, which are not as popular. And we are going to find out what qualifications or what jobs could you get if you go and study in Czech Technical University, for example. So, of course, we will discuss the entry requirements of these faculties and about the prospects for future graduates of this university in the labor market in Europe. So, I will now switch on to another presentation, and before I open another one, I would like my colleagues to introduce themselves. Sorry, I have forgotten to introduce myself at the very beginning. My name is Rima Duvatovka, and I represent the Knowledge Space company, which is Education Abroad, and which is situated in Prague, in Czech Republic, and the International Educational Agency, JNDS, which is situated in Russia. And my colleagues, I give floor to them. So firstly, I'd like you to introduce yourselves, and then we'll switch on to the topic of our today's meeting. So please, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Should I start? Okay. So hello again. We are now located in Prague, all of us. In the behind, you might see the Prague castle, so we wanted to give you the best view, but unfortunately the lighting is not very clear. So we are representing the Czech Technical University in Prague, which is the oldest and the biggest technical university, oldest in Europe and biggest technical university in Czech Republic. You will be going to see a presentation from each of us today online. We are going to hide ourselves and you will be seeing the slides. My name is Erika Lachka, and I am the study at CTU project coordinator, and I am also the coordinator of the project study in Prague. My colleague here can introduce himself, and we will be going like this.
So hi everyone, thanks for viewing our webinar. My name is Caleb House. I'm an International Relations Coordinator at the International Office here at the Czech Technical University. Usually I'm working with international students, especially exchange students, and trying to find new university partners to provide exchange opportunities for our students here.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Oleg, and I'm also working with guys, and I'm an ambassador of the CTU in Prague, and I'm responsible for Russian target groups. So if you have some questions or you need some help in some specific cases, you can ask me, and I will help you with a great pleasure.
Okay, that's nice. So we could start with our webinar.
Definitely.
Excellent. All right, so Erica, we will expand this.
Yes. All right. So I hope you all can see the presentation, which is online right now. So as we said, we are representing the Czech Technical University. We are three of us sitting here right now, and we will provide you detailed information about, first of all, why to choose Czech Republic and why to choose Prague. Later on, we can introduce the university itself and the study programs that you can choose. And we will be talking about the details. Yes. We will be talking about your study options, what you can choose at this university, what is the study programs, and what you can do after graduating. And my colleagues will be talking also about the application process, which might be helpful for you as well, specifically how Russian students can apply to CTU. All right, so let's start with why to choose Prague. How is it to live in Prague if you're a foreigner? And my colleague Caleb will be able to explain you that.
So if you're watching this, you're probably already interested in studying abroad, but I thought I would say a few words about why you should really be serious about that possibility for your education. It's my experience also. I am American, but I studied abroad in the Czech Republic, in Germany, and in France. So clearly I found it to be a really rewarding experience because I could just continue doing it over and over. The things to remember about especially getting a degree abroad is that it's more than just getting an education from a school. I mean, you have good schools in your home country, you could stay there, it's a bit more comfortable, but if you go abroad, you have your education from the university, plus you get a lot of experience in the language. Of course, it's a challenge at first for many people, but if you go through that program, you'll be able to prove to any employer that you're very comfortable in that language because you got a degree in that language. In our case, that would usually be in English, possibly also in Czech, but that's maybe for a different webinar. Living in a foreign country, you really have to develop a lot of independence. Again, this is a challenge at first, but if you go through that challenge, then you get really strong skills and a confidence in yourself that you're able to take into the job market. You get a better understanding of different cultures, and especially being in the Czech Republic, being in the heart of Europe and surrounded by so many different cultures, different languages, different histories, you can get a really diverse view of the world in a very short period of time. And this is something that's very valuable to employers who need internationally comfortable employees. Finally, if you live in a foreign country, you just get the opportunity to travel and to see new places. And Prague is one of the greatest places to explore and to travel. Like, maybe you'll think that I'm biased because I work for a university in Prague, but I really decided to come back to Prague myself from all the places where I've lived and traveled. I wanted to come here, and I would encourage you to put Prague on the top of your list of study destinations also. The location is great, like you're within a few hours by bus or 1 hour by plane. You can be almost anywhere in Western or Eastern Europe. There's so many places to explore. The city itself is beautiful. I mean, you don't get a really great view of the castle behind us, but you can see that Prague Castle and St. Vitus Cathedral is visible from almost anywhere in the city. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the world, if not the most beautiful. And you have a great lifestyle here, especially for students. Like, there are so many things that are going on here. You're never going to be bored. There are festivals, there are activities, there are clubs to join. It's just a really great environment. And you're going to be very comfortable as an international student here. Like, in some places, it's a bit more difficult to adjust, to really feel comfortable, but there's such a large international community here that that's something you really don't have to worry about. You will make friends, you will find people to hang out with, and you'll feel very comfortable. And one of my last points is just how safe the country and the city is. It's one of the safest countries in the world. Everyone feels really safe to be out after midnight. No one really worries about any crime or about anything going wrong. There's almost no violent crime in Prague. So it's a very comfortable environment to live in. And if your parents are worried about you going abroad for your education, you can tell them that this is a very safe place to study abroad, and there's very little that could go wrong here. Finally, the cost of living is quite low. Also, the costs of our programs in English are very affordable compared to trying to study in the US or the United Kingdom, for example. It's much, much lower here, but I think one of my colleagues will speak about that in detail. My last point that I think Oleg might talk about a little bit later, but the employment opportunities here are almost unique in Europe. It's one of the lowest unemployment rates in Europe, and Prague itself has an unemployment rate of 1.5% or even less.
Could be even less.
Basically, especially if you study something technical like IT or engineering, and afterwards you want to work in Prague, you will be able to find a job. Like, the companies are desperate for international and skilled employees. And if you get a degree from a Czech university, you will immediately be able to work after. So if you're thinking in the long term, this is a great place to start investing in your education because it will lead to a lot of career opportunities. So that's why you should consider studying abroad, and that's why you should consider Prague as one of your best options for studying abroad. If you're interested, and I hope you are, now we're going to talk a bit more in detail about why you should consider Czech Technical University as one of your top options. And for that, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Erica.
All right, just a second. We will switch the slides. Yes, so first of all, we already introduced ourselves, but I wanted you to know that there's a project called Study at CTU, where we are trying to help the prospective students to apply, to explain them what are their options if they would like to study in English. We have several options for study programs, and the team of the students are all coming from different faculties and speaking different languages. So that's why we have a, let's say, very international team of students, and one of them is sitting here right now who will be able to maybe later on answer your questions and explain everything more in detail. Our main goal is to provide you accurate information before and after your arrival as well, and to get you to the full and authentic experience at this university. And we are not forgetting the students. After they come here, we are organizing many events where they can participate, so they can still feel very welcome and feel and comfortable within the international environment. We have a website called studyatctu.com where you can find all necessary information regarding the study programs, regarding how to apply, how is the life in Prague here, information about insurance, scholarships, public transportation, etc. So we highly recommend you to visit this website. There's a QR code and the link itself. And we also have social media. We also have Kontakte, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Study at CTU, where we try to show prospective students how is to study at this university. So we highly recommend you to follow us everywhere. And if you will be here, you can also use our hashtags, then we can see your posts. So the most important part of this presentation is to tell you more about your study options. CTU has currently 8 faculties and 1 school of business. All of these faculties and school of business offer study programs both in Czech language and in English. We here are trying to promote and to explain you the options, study options in English study programs. So we can start from the Faculty of Civil Engineering, which currently has bachelor, master, and also doctoral study programs. I included small links directly to the faculty websites where you can see all the information besides our Study at CTU website. So this is directly there, sub-page, let's say, with the information about the study programs and how to apply. So it will be available later for you to click and directly see the faculty website. Later on, we have the Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. They also offer study programs in English on bachelor, master, and PhD level. Then we have the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, where the situation is the same, where you can apply for bachelor, master, and doctoral study programs in the fields of, for example, I'm not going to mention all the study programs because there are tens and tens of study programs, and we will be here like for 2 hours. So that's why I included the link. But for example, you can study in the field of open informatics, aerospace engineering, robotics, etc. Then we have the Faculty of Nuclear Sciences and Physical Engineering, where there are only master programs available in English currently. They will be opening a couple of new, but we still don't have any information about that, so we included the link where you can check the updated information later. The fifth faculty is the Faculty of Architecture, where they also offer only master study program or PhD in the field of architecture and urbanism. The next faculty is the Faculty of Transportation Sciences, where this faculty offers all levels of study, bachelor, master, and PhD in the field, for example, of professional pilot. So if there's anyone interested to become a pilot, we highly recommend to check this faculty, because there are very successful pilots in the very successful airlines working currently. The next faculty is Faculty of Biomedical Engineering, where you can study in the field of biomedical and clinical technology, where you can learn how to also design the tools used for in medicine, the softwares and the machines used in medicine as well. The last faculty itself is the Faculty of IT, Information Technologies, where you can study informatics, and I mean, this is one of the most popular fields nowadays, because students who graduate from this faculty are very much needed in the business sphere, which means like you could be employed the day after you graduate, because English speaking and combining the IT and English language, this field is very, yeah, like very needed. And you can study some informatics, of course, but there are some subfields, for example, computer security or web and software engineering, where you can become a professional and later on work in this field. And the very last, we have the School of Business, which is kind of considered like the ninth faculty, but they are offering management and economical programs, study programs on bachelor and master study level, and they are focused on the soft skills, let's say, the economics and management or project management, where you are taught these things combined with some technology as well. So if you would like to study this and after you graduate, you will be able to working in a very big and professional companies regarding technologies, but not the hard work, let's say, like the soft work. And I would like to mention also the fees for all of these programs. We have unified fees for all bachelor, all master, and all PhD programs at every faculty. So for the bachelor program, we are talking about 110,000 Czech crowns, which is approximately 330 or 40,000 rubles, if I'm not mistaken. Up to, yeah, like it depends on the exchange rate. Then we have the master study programs, which are all 132,000 crowns times 3, it will make the rubles. And then we have the PhD programs, which are 138,000 crowns times 3, and it would make the equivalent to the rubles. So these are the prices for our English study programs. They are all the same at every faculty, so there won't be any difference if you look closer to them later. And yes, the university itself is also very connected to the research. I mean, without the research, the university wouldn't exist. So during the studies, students have very wide options to join a project or a research here at the university, or together with a company, with a private company, and later on it's a good beginning for the students to start working on any project, because later on they have the skills right after they graduate, and they can be also very easily employed if there are any previous achievements in technology or in engineering for them. So in our team, we created these study guides, which are very helpful for students who are thinking about applying to Czech Technical University, and for those who successfully applied and were successfully enrolled and successfully started to study. So these two guides are called Before and After Arrival Guide for international degree students, where you will find very important information about the study programs, about the procedures, about what and how to do before applying or before start studying. And then we have a financial guide where you can find the costs of living as well, how much, like, to simplify it, like how much money do you need here in Prague and here at Czech Technical University if you would like to study here. So they are available online. You can see the QR code, you can download them from there, or you can just simply go to the website, which is here in this slide, and then you can download these guides for yourself, and we highly recommend that. I mentioned in the beginning that I am the coordinator of the project Study in Prague, which is a project of 7 Prague public universities, and we all together are trying to welcome international students here at our universities. And recently we have started to create many events for international students once they start to study here. So it's just small information for you to mention. You can also follow this project online at the social media or at the website studyinprague.cz, because it might happen that you would like to study something that we are not offering. Let's say a chemistry. We have a couple of chemistry subjects within study programs, but there is no full focus on the chemistry. So there is a university focused on this in our project, and you can easily find more study programs regarding humanities or medicine if you're interested. I wanted to show you just how our academic year looks like. It's divided into 2 semesters, so we always start with the winter semester. We do not start in the spring semester, maybe just in the case of PhD, and it has to be consulted. But anyway, our semester starts in the end, or approximately in the end or beginning of the end of September and beginning of October, and lasts after New Year. Then we have the winter holidays and examination period. It is always like this. So the same situation repeats in the spring or summer semester, except there are no summer short holidays. There are the long summer holidays after the examination period. So just letting you know, this is the structure of the academic calendar. Now, regarding this, we'll be slightly touching the application point, but not too much. So we have an information system called COS, where after logging in, you can see, okay, if you're a student, you can see all the things here. For example, enrollment of subjects, your exams, your results, your schedules, and everything. And before you start studying here, this is a very important website for you to apply. So all applications are done online. So after you choose the program, learn how to apply and everything, this will be your first step. But Oleg will be talking about the steps later. I just wanted to show you how it looks and what you will be getting in touch with. All our students have many advantages. So not only the advantages to study in Prague, the capital, the international environment, but being a student also means that you can have so many discounts, which is great for students because many students are usually trying to finance their studies economically. So this is one of the example. You will get a student card, and you can gain many advantages with that. Even, for example, at the canteens you can have a discount for transportation, in the bookstores, in cinemas, in restaurants, etc. These cards are paid, but you only pay for the ISIC card once a year, and our CTU student ID is free of charge. So with 380 crowns for the whole year, it's really worth it. Let's talk about another advantage why you should you should know, but why you might consider education or higher education in your study program in Prague is the price or are the overall living costs, and among them you have the public transportation, which is even cheaper than it was 2 months ago. So students are paying approximately, you can see the price in rubles, 3,800, let's say, rubles per year, let's say 10 months for the academic year, which is incredible price because in some countries you pay this amount monthly, and here in Prague you can pay this for almost a year. And as I mentioned before, there are other benefits at this university. One of them is we have great, fresh, and beautiful canteens with great meals for students for discounted prices. So these are also a couple of examples, and there are just list of them. You can check them later. And another advantage of studying at CTU is the accommodation. There are several dormitories around our main campus or in the city, within the city, and there are parts for international students as well. So when you will be applying for dormitory, I'm pretty sure you will get one if you apply on time, because usually there are more students applying for the dormitory than the rooms, so you need to apply on time. But if you apply and when you get the dormitory, you will be satisfied a lot because you have access to the internet, you have the rooms shared with someone, but you can have your own room as well, and usually you can communicate with the staff throughout. If you do not know the Czech language, you can communicate them anyway. So another advantage for CTU is the dormitory. You will not have to feel or be afraid like what if something happens, because one of the requirements for studying here is to have an insurance. This is very important for you to know. You need to have an insurance. It will be a special insurance for students, and with that insurance you can actually go to the hospital of listed doctors, but there are hundreds and hundreds of doctors here in Prague that your insurance company covers. So you will not need to be afraid what if something happens. Of course we wish all the students that nothing happens, but sometimes things happen. So in the case of or in the need of going to doctor, you don't need to be afraid that you will not find anyone proper or highly required for this. We also have our own doctor here at the campus, which is here for the students. We also have a university psychologist, so there are many benefits for our not only international students. I think I might skip this page because you can learn these numbers after you come and after you start studying here. So yeah, another advantage of studying here in Czech Technical University is the range of sport courses that you can choose during the academic year, and you can even get credits for that. So you can combine, your passion maybe into sport and gaining credits for that. Okay, there are many benefits. One of them is the scholarship which you can get after you start studying and after your grades are excellent and you have excellent study results, and you can apply for award scholarship. It can be up to 10,000 crowns, but it has to be consulted with the international department or your faculty or the study department or the study coordinator. And it's a really good motivation for you to study and for you to have excellent results. There is another benefit for international student, and it is our international student club, ISC, a CTU in Prague, which is located in one of our dormitories. And this is a place, or this is an organization which organizes several activities for international students, starting from the language courses, cultural trips, hiking trips, seminars, music festivals, let's say, many workshops as well. So it's also good for you to check this website. And these were the benefits I was talking about. There might be some things that I forgot to mention or they are not in this presentation, but nonetheless, I have mentioned a lot of them, so it is also a good thing to know about these things. And now I would like to ask Oleg if he can talk about the application process, which is the most important part after you are sure you want to study at Czech Technical University. So he will be talking about the process and the things that are needed from you as prospective students. All right.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the most specific and more maybe important topic for you at this stage about the application. The first point I would like to discuss is the admission requirements. Возможно, в свете того, что мы сегодня презентуем для русскоязычной группы, я бы эту наиболее специфическую часть провел на русском языке. Хотелось бы дать несколько очень практических советов. Первый заключается в том, что вы можете подать заявку не только на одну специальность, не только на один факультет. Поэтому перед вами стоит на данный момент самая важная задача — сделать небольшое исследование тех специальностей и тех программ, которые вам могут быть интересны и на которые вы бы могли подать заявку. Следующий совет — это не стесняйтесь общаться с представителями учебных отделов университета. Залог качественной и успешной подачи заявки на поступление всегда заключается в том, как проходит связь и какие информации вы получите непосредственно от первоисточника, то есть из учебного отдела факультета. Как правило, все факультеты объединяет одно общее требование. Прием заявок начинается с 1 января и продлится до конца марта месяца, но для студентов и соискателей, которые хотят учиться на англоязычных программах, прием заявок продлевается, как правило, до конца апреля месяца. После того, как вы подадите заявку, вас учебный отдел также попросит оплатить определенный административный сбор, после чего вы можете уже с факультетом продолжить общение на тему, какие документы и в какой форме и с какими дедлайнами вы должны подать. Но, как правило, большинство факультетов и программ объединяет общие требования. Первое из них — то, что вам нужно дождаться вашего школьного аттестата или диплома о высшем образовании, в зависимости от того, на какую программу вы поступаете, на какой уровень, и сделать его официальный, нотариально заверенную копию с официальным переводом на чешский язык. Это первый шаг. Второй шаг — вам необходимо пройти нострификацию, то есть это такой, если в общем обобщить этот процесс, то это такая легализация вашего аттестата или диплома о высшем образовании. Третий шаг — вам нужно предоставить язык, сертификат, подтверждающий знание языка на уровне минимум B2. Иногда факультет требует и высший уровень, но это уже в зависимости от того, на какую программу вы подаете заявку. И последний шаг – это и вступительное экзаменирование или же собеседование. Как я и говорил ранее, всегда необходимо уделить немного внимания изучению правил поступления на конкретные программы, потому что какие-то программы предполагают вступительные экзамены, какие-то программы предполагают лишь, например, собеседование по скайпу, то есть такое как бы проверку вашей мотивации, общей подготовки и готовности к обучению на данной программе. В принципе, если есть какие-то вопросы или какие-то специфические случаи у вас встретятся на пути, вы всегда можете найти общую информацию у нас на сайте study@ctu.com или же обратиться непосредственно к нам. Следующий вопрос, который бы хотелось сегодня обсудить, все-таки каково студенту из России учиться у нас в университете и какие перспективы его после обучения. Хотелось бы отметить, что у нас в университете очень большая русскоязычная, большое количество студентов из России и из других стран, которые относятся к русскоязычной группе. У нас они учатся на разных факультетах, то есть вы можете встретить новых друзей, возможно, коллег как на архитектурном факультете, так и на ядерной физике, на электротехнике, на IT. В принципе, мы как бы целевую группу русскоязычную встречаем практически в каждой сфере. Все студенты имеют равные права, как с чешскими студентами, так и со всеми другими иностранными студентами. И очень приятно, что очень много студентов из России занимают определенные лидирующие позиции как в учебе, то есть пока проявляют очень высокие успехи. Также они очень часто занимаются различными дополнительными, ведут определенную дополнительную деятельность в студенческих клубах. И очень даже часто встречается, что они являются и председателями различных студенческих клубов, организуют различные мероприятия. В принципе, как бы у вас, как у студентов, есть очень много возможностей как участвовать в каких-то интересных мероприятиях не только в рамках образовательного процесса, а также и жить полноценной жизнью, обустраивать себе досуг и путешествия, и, в принципе, заниматься всем чем угодно, находить себе различные интересы и новых друзей. Что касается трудоустройства, коллега Эрика уже отмечала, что мы как престижный и технический университет с наиболее большим предложением технических программ готовим специалистов по самым популярным и по самым актуальным сферам деятельности. Поэтому, как правило, наши выпускники находят работу очень быстро и трудоустраиваются в крупных международных компаниях, и за что, в принципе, мы гордимся. Мы также для всех студентов делаем определенную поддержку, в том числе и карьерный центр, поэтому мы предоставляем все те минимальные возможности для студента, чтобы его мотивация, его потенциал мог трансформироваться в конкретный и очень престижный карьерный успех. В принципе, я думаю, что общую информацию мы, в принципе, по этому вопросу обсудили и можем продолжить нашу презентацию, то есть перейти к завершающей фазе. So I would like to give words to my colleagues to finish the presentation.
Just a second. So we just hope everything is clear. In the end of this presentation, there will be contacts, our names with our emails available. So we would like you to feel free and contact any of us. So as I mentioned, my name is Erika, my colleague Caleb and Oleg are here. There's also there are also other members of our team, but since Oleg is a Russian speaker, it will be more easier for you to contact him or to contact me or to contact Caleb. We also provide again our website where you can find all important information. In a couple of days, it will be updated for the academic year 2019-2020. Because after New Year, the applications for all faculties will be available. So until New Year, we will be updating our website with current deadlines for applications, deadlines for documents, and everything. So please feel free to visit this website or to contact us anytime, and we will get in touch with you as well. So this is actually the last slide of our presentation. We hope we included everything important for you regarding why Prague, why Czech Republic, what are the benefits in compared to other countries in Europe or in other parts of the world. We included the part of the study programs with all links available. We explained the application process in Russian language, so it's much easier for you to comprehend. We also included other benefits of this university, which also is a huge part of why to study at CTU in Prague. We also included contact information. So if there are any other questions, we will be very happy to answer them.
I see that there are 2 questions already in our chat. Yeah, thank you, friends. So, 3 questions. Is it difficult to apply for master degree? I think in comparison with bachelor's, is it more difficult? So maybe special additional requirements for masters?
Well, some of the faculties, they have a special entrance exam. For example, there is a study field in the Faculty of Civil Engineering in the Intelligent Buildings. They have a separate examination. But since you are proving your previous education and your previous skills together with the CV, for example, and the committee or the professors who are reading your documents, or study advisors, or people themselves, it is not that hard, I would say, because they can see all your results. And if you were a really good student, I don't think so it's harder than to apply for a bachelor study program.
Okay, and don't you have any faculties probably where the work experience is needed for MA? Because sometimes there are such situations.
No. Sometimes in other countries there are situations like this that you need to have any work experience or particular, like a year or a couple of months. Here at CTU it is not required. So of course it's always better to have any either internship already done or something like that, but it's not a requirement.
So there is the next question, which is connected to nostrification, and I suppose it is again about MA. So what is the process of nostrification for those who has already graduated from with bachelor's degree? I mean, exactly in your university.
Yes, so when you are applying to master programs here, you need to also include your bachelor degree diploma. But if you are still student, because the deadlines are usually still in the process when you are studying, so you can apply. And later on, when you have your bachelor university diploma, later on you can nostrify it, and later on you can prove that you finished the university successfully, and then you can apply for nostrification.
You mean it could happen even after the beginning of the academic year, so when the students are already in Prague?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because our students usually get their diplomas at the end of June. So when everything has already finished, I mean, all the processes. Okay. Okay, and the last question is about probably scholarships or some kind of... Okay.
Oleg wants to
Okay, Alex, sorry.
Students will apply for the master degree programs, they can make a nostrification at our university. So it's very easy. They can send all copies translated into Czech or English to our university, and during the 30 days we will provide the results of that.
Yeah, I only mean that we usually get the diplomas too late in summer, so that's why all the application processes have already finished by that time. So the only way they could do it is in July. The earliest is the July, and then the beginning of the year.
Yes, there are cases like this, and we know students who nostrify their diploma, or they got the diploma later than maybe some.
So it's okay.
Other countries, say so.
Okay.
It's possible, yes.
But you have a lot of time, July and.
So it is also possible, you mean, yeah, in summer.
When after you receive the diploma, for example, in June, you can directly resend it to our university, and we will make the nostrification here in 30 days. So at the beginning of the September, you can get all papers, and you can provide all documents during the enrollment.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice news, because not all universities do it like this. So it's very good.
With master degree, yeah, as we have mentioned.
Yeah. Okay.
If they're applying for a bachelor's degree and they're talking about their high school diploma, this is a bit of
I know that it is different, but yeah, the question was about MA. Yeah. Okay, nice. And the last question was about scholarship or grants. So you have mentioned in your presentation, yeah, there is the kind of 10,000 Czech krunas for some prominent students. Is there anything else possible?
We are providing for all students studying at the full-time programs, like small amount. It's about 250 crowns per year. It's something like social scholarship for all international and Czech students. And also we are open to support and help students to find some grants, scholarship support. We are also collaborating with the Ministry of Education of different countries, also with Russian Federation. So we are trying to follow all deadlines and all offers and help students. So we are really open to help all motivated students who are really interested.
Okay, thank you. And I also have one question about the Erasmus program. Is it possible for MA students, to participate in Erasmus? So do they go somewhere?
Yes, we forgot to mention that because our application websites for Erasmus or any exchange mobility are under construction, so we didn't want to include. They are being translated to English. So each student enrolled, no matter if it's in the Czech study program or English study program, has or is able to apply for Erasmus program or any exchange program, which means like on bachelor, master, or even at PhD level, students can go and make the semester or two abroad, even an internship.
Okay. Okay.
Well.
And each faculty has a lot of exclusive contracts and agreements with other universities and companies. So there are hundreds and hundreds of options where you can go, and many countries available throughout.
Okay, nice.
Worldwide.
Thank you very much for your presentation, for the detailed presentation, and for the answers to the questions. So now we are going to finish, and I have a couple of words to add about the future things where the students could participate. I would probably like to invite them to participate in two contests which are somehow connected to today's presentation. It is written in Russian because it is mostly for Russian students, and it is the contest which is conducted in Russian language. It is called Czech semester. It has been happening for the second time in a partnership with some Czech institutions. In this contest, students could show their knowledge about Czech Republic, about Prague, and in the first stage and in the second stage, they asked to show their knowledge in mathematics and logics. So as the prize for this contest, there will be some vouchers to have excursion around Prague from our partners, and also the short course in economics from the Prague Economical University. And another contest which is more closely connected to our today's guests is the contest which is simply called semester. Actually, semester stands for science, English and math. Yeah, so the first three letters stands for these subjects, and you see that there are a lot of partners in this contest, and of course the Czech Technical University is one of the biggest partners of this contest. In this contest, you could participate even only if you know English quite well, because the whole contest is in English. The first stage of this contest is online. You should take part in, you should do the test, which includes questions in mathematics, chemistry, physics and English. So chemistry, because this year is the jubilee of of the table of chemical elements by Mendeleev, so that's why chemistry is included this year. And in the second part, you have to, the best students, of course, will have to present their scientific research work and give the presentation either online or offline in our centers, so you are more than welcome to participate. The participants of this contest are allowed to take part starting from the 5th form, so from 11 years old, so quite a big range of ages. So where could you find the details of all these contests and the details of our partners as well? So if you happen to be in Prague right now, you could come to our office. I'm in the Knowledge Space office. Here is the address, and of course it will be in our social network. And if you are in Russia, you could also come and visit us in our Russian office, or use the phones or emails, whatever is the best way for you to communicate. And of course we invite you to subscribe to our groups in social media, in Facebook and Vkontakte, for mostly Russian-speaking audience. So, and you will find this presentation with subtitles in Russian and its English version in this social network. So you are more than welcome to participate, and I hope you liked today's webinar. So we are ready to answer all your questions in the chat, in social media and in our email. So you are more than welcome to ask us questions, and we will be glad to answer. So thank you for listening. Thank you for participating.